If you're thinking about moving to the Bay Area, you might be stuck deciding between San Francisco or San Jose, as they're two totally different cities in terms of lifestyle, architecture, and even energy. So today, I'm going to break down 7 key differences to help you figure out which one might be a better fit for you. Hi, I'm Austin Lee. I'm a Bay Area real estate agent here, and I help buyers, sellers, and tech transplants navigate one of the most competitive housing markets here in the entire country. So if you're thinking of making a move, my contact info is in the description below. All right, now let's get into it. All right, first, I'm going to talk about the history of both cities, starting with San Francisco. So San Francisco was founded in the 1700s, and while earthquakes and fires have reshaped the cities, you'll still see everything from classic Victorian-style homes, craftsman-style homes, to also sleek high-rise buildings. Now, every neighborhood has its own personality, whether it's the Edwardian charm of No Valley or the mid-century modern pockets of Diamond Heights. San Jose, by contrast, developed much later, especially post-World War II. So the homes here are a bit newer, but the architecture is less diverse. Think 1950s and 1960s ranch-style homes, but also some sprinkle with some newer townhomes and some planned communities. Here, you're not going to find any ornate moldings or any painted ladies here, but you'll find attached garages and private backyards with people hosting barbecues and pool parties. All right, next, I want to talk about the lifestyle you're going to find in both cities. Now, San Francisco is a true city. It's dense, it's walkable in many neighborhoods, and it's full of public transit options. Here you'll find cafes on every corner, along with a lot of farmers markets, nightclubs, sporting events, and historic street art tucked away in some alleys. The energy here is fast-paced, and there's always something going on. But that city life does come with some challenges. One big challenge to think about living in San Francisco, though, is about the hills, as San Francisco has famously steep terrains that does shape the city's character, but can be tough on walking and driving. And these hills, while it does make some neighborhoods look very charming and offer stunning views, it also adds a layer of difficulty to everyday commutes and errands. Another thing to know is that San Francisco is a very transient city. Because of the high cost and competitive job market, people are going to be constantly moving in and out, which can make it feel less like a close-knit community and more like a revolving door. It can be an easy place to meet people, but sometimes harder to build those long-term connections. And of course, the city's wear and tear is visible, as homelessness is a persistent and visible issue. Parking battles here can be a daily struggle, and the fast pace can feel overwhelming at times. For many, that vibrant city buzz, that cultural diversity, and abundance of things to do outweigh the drawbacks. San Jose, on the other hand, feels like a giant suburb. Streets are wider, everything's more spread out, and most people drive everywhere. The pace is slower, the nights are quieter, and many neighborhoods will have that family-like vibe. Now, it is cleaner, it is quieter, more family-friendly, and with a lot of good schools and a lot of nice parks. But you do lose some of that city energy and walkability. All right, next, I'm gonna talk about the job opportunities, as both cities have access to the Bay Area's booming economy, but the types of jobs and the proximity of employers are different. Now, San Jose is the heart of Silicon Valley, as major companies such as Apple, Google, Cisco, Nvidia, and Adobe, they're all headquartered here or nearby. So if you're in tech, product, engineering, or hardware, San Jose puts you right next to the action. The job density in the South Bay is huge, and if you're hybrid or in office, the commute is way easier from here. San Francisco, on the other hand, has a more diverse economy. Now, tech is still big, with companies such as Salesforce, Uber, Airbnb, and a lot of AI startups are here, but there's also a stronger presence of finance, design, health, tech, and biotech. It's also more of a hub for remote-first companies, especially post-2020. Now, if you're early in your career or in a creative field, San Francisco might offer more variety. But if you're mid to senior level in tech, San Jose's proximity to major headquarters could open a lot of doors. All right, next I'm talking about the schools. As in San Jose, the school quality here can be excellent depending on the type of city and the type of district. Places such as Cupertino, Palo Alto, and Almaden Valley are some of the top-rated public school districts here in the entire state of California. Now, in San Francisco, it's a bit more complicated, as the public school system uses a lottery-based assignment model. And while there are strong schools, it does take a lot of research and sometimes a lot of strategy. So if you're banking on a top-tier San Francisco school, living in San Francisco can feel kind of like a gamble, and it may push you towards private school options. All right, next I'm going to talk about the weather, as this is a big one that catches a lot of people off guard, even though both cities are really close to each other. San Francisco is famously foggy because it's right next to the ocean no matter what time of year. Summers can be chilly and gray, especially in neighborhoods such as Sunset or Richmond, where it might be 58 degrees in July and you're still wearing a hoodie. But some pockets like Mission District or Potrero Hill might actually do get a lot of sun. Now, San Jose, on the other hand, it's going to be a lot sunnier, drier, and much warmer, as it's usually 10 to 15 degrees hotter compared to San Francisco. So if you're someone who loves that California sunshine, barbecues in the backyard, or want to just stop worrying about bringing a jacket everywhere, San Jose is going to feel a lot more like Southern California. Now, it does get a lot hotter here in San Jose. Sometimes it'll go up to 90s or even triple digits, but generally, it's more predictable. All right, now let's talk about the homes. Now, when you look at a budget like $1.7 million here in San Jose, the types of homes you're going to find in both San Jose and San Francisco couldn't be more different. And it really comes down to what you value most in your living situation. In San Francisco, a budget of $1.7 million typically secures a 2 to 3 bedroom condo or apartment, often situated in a classic walk-up building dating back to the early 1900s. For example, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath unit in 1901 California Street, built in 1919, was recently sold for $1.75 million. And this unit featured about 1,900 square feet of living space, in-unit laundry, hardwood floors, and access to a private deck. The building also included a lot of amenities such as elevator access, garage parking, and with also HOA dues which covered heat, water, trash, and maintenance. Now, these historic buildings often boast high ceilings, really nice details, and a sense of character that newer constructions may not. However, they also do come with a lot of quirks such as creaky floors and compact kitchens. And parking around these homes are also typically scarce and expensive. But living in these neighborhoods means being immersed in the city's vibrant culture, such as murals on the walls, cafes on every corner, and numerous brunch spots within walking distance. Also, public transportation options are also going to be abundant, allowing residents to navigate the city without the need of a car. Conversely, in San Jose, $1.7 million often buys a spacious single-family homes, typically a 3 to 4 bedroom ranch-style home or a modest 2-story home on a quiet residential streets. Now, these homes frequently come with a decent-sized yard and garage and the potential for expansion or renovation. There's ample space to cook, entertain, or store belongings without feeling cramped. The neighborhoods are often peaceful and family-friendly, with tree-lined streets and a suburban feel. Now, maintenance tends to be a lot more straightforward. No shared walls or HOA fees to worry about in many cases, just your home and your own yard. The trade-off is that you'll be further away from the nightlife, cafes, or cultural hotspots. All right, lastly, let's talk about commuting because it does shape your day-to-day life more than most people do realize. San Francisco is compact and dense, so if you live and work in the city, you might get away with just walking, biking, or taking the public transit. The Muni bus system and BART underground subway system connects many neighborhoods and make car ownership less necessary, especially if you live close to work or school. Now, if you do want a car, be warned, parking is tough and expensive, and traffic can get still pretty gnarly in the city, especially during rush hour or when events are happening downtown. Like sometimes it's going to take 30 minutes just to drive 10 miles across the city due to the number of traffic lights and people. On the flip side, San Jose is much more spread out, suburban and car dependent. You almost certainly need a car to get around, whether it's for work, errands, or school drop-offs. Now, traffic here tends to be a lot heavier during the peak commute time, especially on Highway 101s and 280, especially if you're going to head north towards the Silicon Valley tech campuses or trying to go up to San Francisco. Also, the direction of your commute matters a lot. Let's say if you live in San Jose but work in San Francisco, be ready for a daily highway slog up northbound Highway 101 or the Bay Bridge, which can add an hour or more to your commute. Conversely, if you work locally in San Jose or other South Bay cities, your commute might be shorter but still clogged around the tech hubs such as Sunnyvale and Mountain View. Also, public transit options in San Jose are much more limited, as the VTA light rail and buses do cover the city, but they aren't as comprehensive or as frequent compared to San Francisco. Most people here in San Jose rely just on driving. So in short, if you love walking or taking public transit, San Francisco might feel more manageable in terms of the day-to-day. But if you want a bigger home and don't mind driving, San Jose could be a better fit. Just make sure to plan your commute carefully. So if you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere in the region, whether it's San Francisco or San Jose or anywhere in between, feel free to reach out. All my contact info will be in the description below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, or drop a comment below. And I'd love to hear which city you choose. All right, check out some more videos on my channel if you want to know about what living in the Bay Area is like, and I'll see you in the next one.